What if the whole reason LeBron James started this podcast with JJ Redick was to get to have a feeler or to subliminally do a test to see if he'd want JJ as a coach? How funny would that be? I'm right now reading a book called Pipeline to the Pros about D3 basketball. And they talk about how Frank Vogel's first season, when he brought Jason Kidd in and they won the championship, but everybody thought Jason Kidd was eventually going to replace Frank Vogel by LeBron's request, being a former player. Have you guys realized LeBron's favorite coaches are former players? So the report we're hearing right now from Dave McMenamin of ESPN is the Los Angeles Lakers could have interest in both JJ Redick and Tyronn Lue as their next head coach. JJ Redick recently launched a podcast with LeBron James and has also been a target, not a target, but considered a candidate for the Charlotte Hornets job. And he was a candidate last year for the Toronto Raptors. He's currently a lead game analyst for ESPN. Quote, JJ Redick is certainly a real candidate if they open up this coaching search. There's, I'd say, a half a dozen folks out there, including possibly Tyronn Lue. There are several viable candidates who will get an interview, end quote. Dave McMenamin said on the Dan Patrick Show. Ty Lue's under contract through the 24-25 season. Lue was a candidate for the Lakers in 2019, but they ultimately hired Frank Vogel, which they won a ring, so it wasn't the wrong decision, but you might say they could have won a ring with Ty Lue. And Ty Lue became an assistant with the Clippers, then replaced Doc Rivers in 2019-20. So for me, what I want to get at here is obviously if they could do a coach trade for Tyronn Lue, I think that's the best situation. He's such a gifted in-game adjustment coach. He understands rotations. He understands managing players. I'd trade. They don't have anything really to offer, but I'd trade for him. Now, JJ Redick. I wonder how cheap he's going to be. Because is he going to be cheap? I don't think so. As what do you want to give up his whole media slick? Do I believe he can be he's going to have the respect of the players. He's going to know how to understand, personalities. And he knows ball. So I don't have any questions about his coaching ability. Maybe game management, time-wise. Certain things coaches have to work, the kinks. Every coach has to figure out at the beginning. But I can't see in a world that he wouldn't be successful. I think the bigger question is he willing to give it up? And that's where I think probably not. I don't know. Look, if I was a betting man, I would say that the Lakers, more than likely, if they're firing Darvin Ham, I'm not going to say they're going to be cheap, but they're going to go for a former player, I think, and somebody whose it's going to be their first opportunity to be a coach. So they're going to take a discount to be the Lakers coach, maybe, and also be a coach for the first time in the NBA where there's only so many jobs. That's just my opinion. I could be completely wrong, ladies and gentlemen, but that just seems like something that the Lakers would do. But time will tell. Let me know in the comments. But that's going to be today's video. Who do you think will be the coach?
Yo, what's going on, guys? And we got to talk about this Darvin Ham news. The unflattering ending to the season, according to Shams Charania and The Athletic, as well as Jovan Buhan and Sam Mek. All The Athletic, they reported that the way the season has ended, Darvin Ham's future is in serious doubt, and that he's highly unlikely to return. Now Rob Pelinka's going to have to reassess everything. In 2022, Ham signed a 4-year deal in the range of $5 million per season. and the team would have to assume the remainder of the deal if he were to be fired. Now, what we heard is at the end of the game, he said that quote, "It seemed like every time we hit a rhythm, somebody, a key piece would fall out the lineup. It is what it is, man. I'm not going to feel sorry for myself. It's an unbelievable franchise to represent," end quote. Ham said after the game 5. Now, the Lakers they thought they had built a roster that was better than, a first round defeat. Their lineup of Hachimura, Anthony Davis, Reeves, LeBron, and Russell had a net rating of positive 6.7. And this past offseason, they brought back Reeves, Russell, Hachimura, Jared Vanderbilt, and thought they had a good core. And Darvin Ham had some questionable rotations, not the best off, in-game adjustments, as well as lack of, good game planning. And the team underperformed, and there was a lot of discontent. And as a result, the question is, what is going to happen? So seemingly they're going to try to push out Darvin Ham, allegedly. What seems like the guy who's going to get scapegoated. But I want to hear your guys' thoughts. If you're a Lakers fan or not, what do you guys think about this? And if you guys agree with what we're hearing, Darvin Ham being the one who's being blamed for the end of the season. I mean, obviously, I think there's some reasoning behind it, but who's going to replace? I think you either go for a guy like Mike Budenholzer and then other people, Charles Lee. I mean, Jordan Fernandez got poached. Kevin Young got poached. James Borrego's a guy you could go after. Kenny Atkinson. There's a lot of good coaches out there that you can go after. Championship-wise, it's only Mike Budenholzer that's probably available. Outside of that, I don't know who else you would go after. For me, I think this is a team that LeBron's going to come back, and now they're saying like Bronny James and all that stuff. It makes you wonder what they're going to do, but it seems like the days are numbered for how long we'll be calling Darvin Ham the head coach of the Los Angeles Lakers.